welcome to my channel. Today I am talking about attachment again and go into some deeper detail with this. As I referred to in my, I think, couple of videos ago, there are different degrees of attachment, and attachment to an outcome can mean kind of two different things. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the most, I'm going to call it destructive kind of attachment. It's not really destructive, but the kind of attachment that keeps you where you are. So keeps you seeing 3D as it is, and you're not seeing those changes that you want to manifest, okay? That is the form of attachment where you feel that you are static, you feel like nothing is moving. Now, so you are attached to a particular outcome, you really want a certain outcome. Generally this happens with people because we get much more hung up on people. We tend to have those feelings around people and the situation ongoing, so it's underlying there all of the time, so you don't get any break from it. So you have that attachment to the outcome, you really want that outcome, there's nothing wrong with that, but then you are constantly feeling that you don't have it, so you're constantly looking for it and you're thinking, I've done this stuff to manifest, and even if you haven't, you're not actively manifesting, you're still expecting it at some point, so you keep looking for it, you keep looking for it, and as you look for it, you feel that you don't have it, but then also you're walking around day in, day out with a feeling of, this isn't here, I don't have this. So you can call it a feeling of lack, but really it's energetic, and it's an energetic form of what it is that you're manifesting. So you're manifesting that you don't have it because that's the energy that you are walking around with the majority of the time. Probably all of the time it's there, slightly there. I don't know why I keep going like that as if it's down in the stomach area, but that's kind of what it feels like, isn't it? It's inside. So that's one kind of attachment. Then you have attachment, which I talked about because somebody commented on one of my videos and said about, I think it was about she was moving house and she was really attached to the outcome of getting this particular house, really felt attached to it, and she manifested it anyway. It happened anyway, in spite of her attachment to it. Well, that is what I call a different degree of attachment. I will link my book below, Degrees of Attachment. I don't know that I cover this in it, but I can't remember, I haven't read it myself for so long now, this particular version of attachment. Now, I kind of don't refer to this as attachment as such. It's that you really, really want something and you feel that you're attached. I'm attached to it happening in this way, and you kind of are, but what you are really doing is really directing your energy at having this because you're thinking it has to happen, I have to have this. And I've done this on several occasions. Much more lately, I seem to be getting much better at that. I could always do it when I was really hyped up about something, I could do that, but I've never really been that good at it when it's come to just things in general that I might want, because I don't feel that kind of hyped state, so I've never really done it with that. But lately I've found that I've been doing it much more and I'm much better at it. But with this, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, that's my phrase, isn't it, or whatever you want to call it, you evolve. You just evolve, and I'm evolving all of the time too. So you might think a certain thing at one point or not be able to do something, then a little while later you can, and you feel, well, that was easy, why could I not do that before? But it's because you're evolving with it, you're growing with it. So I've done that where I can push all other versions to the side, and I don't really visualize it, I kind of feel this straight path. So the thing that I want is always on a straight path, the version that I want, and then the other stuff is kind of here. So I've got two paths either side, let's say, and I can sweep that to the side and just push myself down that path. I don't do anything, I don't take any action, I just feel, no, that I need that to happen, that has to happen. At the same time, I still think, what if it doesn't happen? Because that's normal, you're always going to do that. But I've directed myself so strongly in that path, on that path, that it's never not happened. And to be perfectly honest, every time I've done this, I've manifested, or I've created, I've jumped into that reality, and it's been exactly as, it really hasn't veered from exactly what I've wanted. And some of these have been really important things to me and to other people. Just a note to say, because sometimes when I mention about manifesting for like Harry or something like that, people will email me and say, oh, can you manifest for me? No, I don't do that because I don't have, no offense to you, but I don't have that connection with you. So when we manifest for other people, what we're actually doing is manifesting for ourselves. It just benefits that other person. So you have to have that desire for it. And maybe you are a person that can tap into that desire for anyone. You know, when you get these people, these stupid spammy comments here, oh, you know, contact this love doctor and they can spellcaster and they can manifest this for you, manifest contact for you. Basically, that's what they would be doing. And how would they, if they even did it, you know, then, but how would they have the actual desire for that? I have found that I need to have a desire for something to manifest so that somebody else benefits. I have to see it as manifesting for myself so that they benefit from it. So I have to want it, I have to have a desire for it, and that has to be fairly deep. So I have to have, I've done it for my son, I've done it for Jeremy, I've done it for a friend. I've not told my friend that I was doing it, and I've told Harry. Harry always knows if I do it because he asks me generally. But when I did it for my friend, I didn't mention it to her at all, and that what I felt for her pretty much manifested within a week. But I wasn't specific. I just wanted something good to happen for her, and I felt something really good happening to her, that she would get good financial gain from it, and it would make her super happy. And but I didn't know what it would be. And it was about a week later when something happened. And it's major what happened. She, you know, her and a bloke, her partner, bloke, it's very English, isn't it? Her partner, they got, so they produce music, and they've always done it for fun. They used to have a radio station. It's like garage music, and garage music and like R&B. I think he's more R&B and she's more garage. And basically they released this track, which they do from time to time, and it just went crazy, like literally crazy. It made all the R&B soul charts, it made the global charts, it just did so amazingly well, and it was such a shocker. And it was during lockdown, actually. It was the best manifestation ever. And you kind of think, oh, was that me? But I think it was such a short space of time, and it was so random because they've been doing this for years, absolute years. And anyway, since then they're really well known now, so all of their tracks do really well, and they're working with some really great artists, and it's amazing, brilliant. So to go back to the attachment thing, sorry, I veered off course a little bit there, like I do. So that's a different kind of attachment. That's an attachment to really wanting a particular outcome, feeling like you need it, but being so in need of it that you are able to direct yourself into the flow of it. But you still worry about it because you might be something. I mean, I did this with a court case years ago. We had a business court case. I will not go into details, so I don't like talking about it, particularly don't like to bring it up again. But I did that. I focused myself, no, this has to happen, because if it goes against us, then we might have to shut the company, and we're just going to be so out of pocket. It's going to be crazy, court costs and that. I thought, no, I'm not having that. And I pushed all of that to the side, and I strongly set myself on that course. But I was still worried about it, concerned about it. I did get to a point where I did get quite calm, and I thought, nothing we can do now. When the day came, I thought, I'm not worried about it anymore, and I didn't, because I thought there's nothing I can do. But it happened exactly as. And the crazy thing was, there were little bits of it that I'd kind of wanted to happen, and it all happened exactly as. And looking back on it at the time, I remember, because I told Jeremy what I said, well, this is happening, this is what's happening. When afterwards he said, oh my God, like, you are seriously, are you a witch? You know, because he said, you know, that is absolutely crazy, that the nitty gritty of it was what happened as well. So the little bits that I thought, no, this, I want this to happen and that to happen and this to happen and him, the judge to say this, and it all just happened. But I could do that. But I still, it wasn't like I did it and thought, oh, okay, that's going to happen now. I didn't. But I strongly pushed myself. I kind of leapt into that reality, because inwardly I was having it no other way, but I was attached to that happening. But again, do you see what I mean? It was a certain different type of attachment. So I wasn't constantly having that feeling of, oh, we're going to lose everything. We're going to lose everything. And having that feeling of that, I didn't have that feeling. I wouldn't allow that in. But that's not very easy to do when it's a person, because we get very attached to people, and it's a different kind of attachment. It's you know, there's all that fear around it. If you haven't watched my previous video about dissolving blocks, please do watch that, because you can go really into really deep layers with that and get rid of all that stuff, and then the other stuff is just easier, because you don't have all of those blocks attached. It's very easy, actually, to get rid of most blocks, dare I say it. I had forgotten that, actually, because I've always worked around my quibbles, and because that's what Abdullah used to refer to them when he was talking to Neville Goddard, and I'm good at working around them, and I find it very easy to work around them, because I can always find a way to do that, so I've always done that. But I'd forgotten that actually in the past I haven't done that, and when I went back to reading lots of my Richard Dot stuff while I was away, I was reminded of that, and I thought, I don't have to do that, let's try not doing that. And and I like playing around with this, you know, so I can come back to you and say, actually, I did this the other day and this happened, because it really helps. So it isn't that difficult to dissolve blocks, resolve those blocks. I found that since I've been doing this since my holiday, I got a bit obsessed with it. And last night I was in bed and I was like, oh, this and this, and I was doing it with absolutely everything. And I was feeling really good about it, because when I say it to myself, so my phrase was, I resolve to dissolve this feeling that I know is holding this back, could be holding this back, could impact this. I don't find that so much impacts me these days anyway, so I was doing that. And you don't keep doing it and keep doing it. Once you've said it, you're making an instruction, you're giving an instruction to whatever this magic is. It could be your higher self, it could be the universe, it could be God, whatever it is to you. That's all that you're doing. And then that is a higher power. That doesn't need to be told again, because you will notice in your life that you manifest things that you have a brief thought about. And maybe you have that brief thought like 6 months ago, and then that's shown up in your life, so you just think it's a coincidence, but it isn't. It never gets forgotten about. Even if you cannot bring all of those things up into your mind that you might have felt and desired in the past, it doesn't matter, it's still there, because the higher power knows it, it's got it, bang, like that. As soon as you feel it, it's there. Yeah, it really is. So you don't have to think too hard about it, and that's the key here. And because you are dissolving those blocks around what it is that you want, you tend not to have that much resistance to it, and you don't tend to overthink it, because you think, oh well, if it works, it works, if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I find it works really quick. And when I had my session last night in bed, I just couldn't sleep. Oh my God, I could not sleep, probably because I was thinking about this really. And so I thought, I'm going to make the most of this time. So I was doing it then, and some things I was feeling an instant relief with, and I thought, oh, it's gone now. And a lot of it was little stuff, because I was just messing around. But as you may have heard before, I think all we're doing with this is influencing energy. We are influencing energy, and if we give it to the higher power, whatever that is, and it is a good, I think, thing to think that it's just you, your higher self. I like the idea of source mind. So the source of everything, you know, where everything is. But you can call it what you like. Just find a name that works for you and that feels good for you, and you're leaving it to that. But it is part of you, so it's not like you're handing it over to something outside of you. It's something inside of you. So then when it becomes you, you don't feel like you're losing anything, and you're particularly letting go of anything, because it's still there. But I feel like I'm dropping it in to source and it's sorting it out for me. And I very much have been reminded of that, which has been great. That's why I've really enjoyed this holiday, because it's reminded me of stuff, because I'm busy getting on with life, and my life is very busy, and I'm going and doing what I do, and I'm doing it the way I do it, and doing this the way I do it, and I don't really have ever time to think about it too much. But that's why I really enjoyed this break, and just it was so amazing, just sitting on the balcony, because we were on a cruise in the middle of the Med, and just looking out at the sea. And I was on a lounger actually, and reading, and then thinking, and just having all this inspiration, so much inspiration. Because if you leave things like that to source mind, you'll just get given inspiration for things. All of it, it'll just bounce in there, honestly. And when you're on holiday and you're not thinking about it too much, you give it chance for that to happen, because your mind slows down and stops getting involved in the process, because you think, oh, it's just a week, I can relax in this week, and if I want to go back to using my mind when I get back, then I will. But I didn't much. But it gave me all of these ideas. So that is what attachment is to me. The main thing that's always going to hold you back is the underlying feeling of the lack of it, the feeling of where is it, the feeling of I don't have it at the moment, because that is an energy, and the energy that you feel, the energy that you have, is what has to be shown to you. So it doesn't have, the universe, whatever this is, doesn't have a choice. That is just the way it is. That is the algorithm. Reality's algorithm can only show you what you're feeling energetically. So even if you're having spurts of feeling good about something, if you keep dropping back into that lack energy, then that's your dominant energy, and that has to show back to you. Okay, that's that. I'll stop that there. Like I said, I'm seeing how many videos I can get out this week, because I've got so much to talk about. I don't want to forget anything. So I am an author. My books are listed below. I offer Zoom coaching. I offer email coaching. Pop on to my website, have a look, see what's available. You can click the link actually on the banner here if you want to have a look and have a bit more of a read about that. I do also offer personalised subliminals, and there's some quite a lot of generic subliminals and meditations on there on the website, as weight loss, money, self-concept, relationships, all of that kind of stuff on there. And there's boosters on there too, which there is a booster on there, which I think is really useful, and people have commented and said that that's really great. So yeah, pop along and have a look. If you want very heavily to base your coaching around a person, getting your specific person, purely that, so not looking at self-concept, really just getting the person. I'm not the best person to talk to, but I will leave a link to Harrison, who's my son's coaching page. He charges £65 for an hour, and he's heavy on that, really good at that. That's what he does. He loves doing that. And he's young, he's 21. And he always, he's a bit like me, so he always wishes the best for whoever he's talking to anyway. So I think you get that added bit of him really wanting good things for you. But I will leave that link. So it depends what your age is as well, doesn't it? Although sometimes he seems a bit crazy on his videos, but actually he's very mature in a lot of ways. So I think he can adapt to whoever he's talking to. But possibly a 21-year-old is not going to appeal to everyone, but he is very good at what he does. I think that's that. I'm going to end it there because I can't waffle on any longer. Thanks for watching.